What's up? It's me, your boy Jargunza. Let me turn this AC down so you can hear me. Now, I'm gonna just roll the windows down. Now, I just saw this movie, The Last Voyage, of the Demeter. And basically, this movie is about a crew members on the ship are being picked off one by one by something that's stuck on the ship with them while they're on, like, I believe what is a 10-day trip to London. I might be wrong. And this is set in 1897, right? And come to find out, this thing that's hunting them down one by one, if you know what I'm talking about, you would know who it already is. It's Dracula. Now, this is based on a book that was told by some dude. I'm sorry, I don't know. I'm not someone who knows all my facts like that. I'll look it up later. But basically, they're being picked off one by Count Dracula on this ship. And I thought this movie was going to be very, very low tier, like mid as hell. I thought it was going to be a 4 out of 10, to be real with you. They have the guy who played Dr. Dre from Straight Outta Compton in here. So for me, he's always going to be Dr. Dre, but he does a really good job on here. Couple of other noticeable people. What I'll say about this movie is that I enjoyed it, actually. Now, some people might find this slow because it is very dialogue heavy for a bit, and it is kind of a slow pace at some points. But I think I enjoyed the slow parts of this movie. I enjoyed the story we got with certain characters. Dr. Dre, I'm going to call him Dr. Dre, I'm sorry. Dr. Dre's character is a doctor on here. Like, that sounds crazy. Anywho, it's set in 1897, and as a black man, you could tell, you can imagine, it's hard for him to actually get a position in a job. And I like the whole story where, he talks to the person like, I fought tooth and nail to be the first black graduate of this college to be a doctorate, and yet, no one wants to have me because, my skin color. I keep getting denied everywhere. And, it's 1897, so I think you guys already know why. Now, I enjoyed the little story. I enjoyed the little story of the girl who he had a communication with, who was like the second main character of this movie. Let's be real. But really, the thing that I enjoyed the most was Dracula himself, to a certain extent. Now, Dracula on here, when we see him, it's presented as this gigantic type bat-like humanized creature. His design is very reminiscent of familiar to the Salem's Lot Dracula that we got on Salem's Lot, the old movie from the 70s. I love that movie. Now, I love this Dracula design. It looked terrifying. This movie is rated R. Now, I'll say this. After the first 2 kills, it doesn't feel too rated R. Now, the horror and suspense, the intensity was there. I enjoyed it. He did not discriminate against any person of any age or any race or any gender. Let me tell you what. This movie, if you think kids are protected in this movie, kids are not protected in this movie. Now, if you want my opinion without a spoiler, because you want to go see it, this is what I'm going to say. It's a decent movie. I don't think it's worth seeing in theaters, though. I hate to say it, but I don't think it's really all that great to see in theaters. If you wait till it comes on streaming service, because this is from Universal Studios, and if you don't know, movies from Universal Studios, after a period of time in the theaters, they go straight to Peacock. So, if you want to wait till it comes on Peacock, then I don't think it's going to hurt. If you want to see it, it's at the end of the day, it's your choice. But I don't feel like this is a movie that's worth seeing in theaters. Now, what I will say, going into spoilers here, the weakest part of this movie is that they present Dracula, when we see him at least, as this creature. He acts and looks like as this creature that just hunts. He doesn't talk or nothing, sort of. He does talk every now and then. He said, I think, in conclusion, we've heard him speak 4 words in this movie. and that's how. And this movie is like 2 hours long. But other than that, he's kind of just hunting and killing like an animal who's thirsty, who's hungry, and but when we hear them talk about him, he's talked as a character who is a very well thought out person who speaks to them in the mind and such. And we don't hear that. We hear whispers, but we really don't hear what they're saying. We're just told what he's saying. And I feel like it was a mixed bag. Like the movie didn't really know what to do. If they wanted to treat him like a beast who's on a hunt, just trying to drink blood, or a person who is well thought out and is evil, and like I don't know, it was no balance. I feel as if it was more leaning towards the whole it's a beast thing. I feel like 80% of it was leaning towards the beast, and the other 20% was like he's well thought out. Now, I'm not really a big fan of like the last action sequence that we had. What I will say is this though, I really was intrigued with the ending. Now, spoiler alert, like I said, Dr. Dre, he was the only person who survived out of this whole ship thing, and Dracula is in London now. The whole mission was to stop Dracula from getting to London, and unfortunately, they didn't succeed. But Dr. Dre is the last survivor, right? He's in London, and now he has set his sole purpose now is to track down Dracula and kill him. He plans to fight Dracula, right? And when he's in the bar talking, and you think it's about to end, we see Dracula is actually in the bar dressed up like a person now, and I thought it looked amazing, like the outfit that he had, because I was expecting full-on human-looking Dracula, where he looks like fucking Orlando Bloom or something like that. But no, he looks like creature Dracula still, just in human clothes, and for some reason that was very terrifying. And we do see that Dracula, in this particular scene, is a evil, conniving person, used to be person, who knows what he's doing, who is fully aware. He's taunting Dr. Dre, like he is taunting him. And I tell you what, it teases us that there's going to be a sequel, where it's Dr. Dre versus Dracula. And you know what? I buy it. I might not think this movie is all that good to see in theaters, but you know what? If you give me that sequel where it's Dr. Dre versus Count Dracula in London, I will watch it, because the way how you guys promoted this at the end, it was pretty cool. I'm gonna give it to you. All right, now my final rating for this movie, I'm gonna give it a 6.5 out of 10. I'm gonna be real with you. There's some things wrong with here. The pacing, it might not be agreeable with some people. I didn't mind it. It was okay. But I just feel like the weakest part of this movie was that they couldn't find a balance of what to do with Dracula while he was on the ship. So yeah, it's been your boy Jerk Gunza, 6.5 out of 10. The last voyage of the Demeter. So yeah, it's been real. Y'all take care now. Peace.